Business of Art is an action-based learning class, and it culminates in a project where student teams propose acquisitions for the art museum. UMMA was committed to purchase one of these proposed pieces of art. So there were 5 proposals, only one of them was chosen. If you think about it, this is a really daunting assignment. Go out and find a piece of art to recommend. And I think a key part of the class that was really successful and really important to the learning was each team was paired with a curator coach, one of the UMMA curators. And the coaches helped the team sort of make sense of this complicated problem. And then as the teams got further along and did their own research, these coaches could be a sounding board.
Just being coached by a curator of a museum is something that a lot of undergraduate students cannot say that they have experience with, and I'm so glad that I was able to be coached by Robin, which is an amazing curator at such a established museum like UMMA.
For us, this was a cool semester, and we got to dive deep, but for this person, it's their life, it's their job. To see Robin's eyes light up as she explains stuff and to go through, at one point, my group had chosen a piece that then was off the market, and it's how do you pivot?
From day one, it's been a really action-based approach to the class. We brought the students outside of the classroom and brought them over to UMMA, and so they got to really experience an exhibition that was especially designed for them in the class, and so it showcased all the acquisition history.
In the first week, we're at the UMMA, seeing where this is gonna go, talking to curators. Our work is gonna affect their jobs.
We had a couple of field trips. We thought that it didn't make sense if you're studying art just to stay in the classroom in the Ross building. So we had a day trip to Detroit. Of course, we went to the Detroit Institute of Art, which is fabulous. And then we had a weekend trip to Chicago, met with galleries, went to the Smart Museum of Art, University of Chicago, to see a different university art museum.
My favorite part definitely was going to Detroit, to the DIA, and being a Detroit native, born and raised in Michigan, exploring Detroit history and learning about Detroit art.
I would say my favorite part was when we went to Chicago. We were at Helen Zell's apartment, and she's, a wonderful supporter of the university. Just this amazing collection from Dubafes to Frida Kahlo.
What really impressed me when I saw them present at Art Tank was their passion. Because they were so excited, they pushed the research further and they did better analysis because they just were so invested.
They really demonstrated to me that they did a lot of deep art historical research and showcasing why their acquisitions were really a sound investment. So it really showed to me that they had a really enriching time throughout the semester and took a lot of things to heart.
Today, we stand before you as the Modern and Contemporary Art Group to reveal our historical and eye-catching proposed acquisition. The piece that our group chose, it made me feel like a proud Detroiter because coming from an African-American woman's background, my family immigrated up north through the Great Migration to work in the auto plants. We chose a piece that really embodied Detroit history, and the piece shows people fighting for labor rights, so it just means a lot in terms of Detroit history and who I am, and that's why I'm so glad I took this class because it really brought me to my roots.
So I would say take the class. It's super fun, it's super interesting, very unique, very tight-knit. There's nothing quite like this out there.
I believe that this course allows you to go into a museum and you don't have to aimlessly look at art. And now I'm better prepared to go into museums and be a mini expert at art because I took this class.
What struck me the most about the class is how much the students enjoyed their time. Talking about the friendships that they've made, the connections with artists, just the rewarding atmosphere, I think, for students to get out of the classroom and really feel like they're making this real-world impact. only at a place like Michigan, where you have an incredibly strong business school like Ross and really incredible arts institutions like UMMA, can make these collaborations happen. And it really demonstrates to students that they can go out in the world and have both arts and business as a part of their life.
So many of the students said this was their best experience at Michigan, so I'm hoping we can continue this into the future.